Is the Manusmriti misogynist or feminist? The whole truth is that it's neither, and here's the neutral answer. The problem with those attacking the scripture is that they mix all the context around the surrounding verses, and the problem with those defending it is that they try to reconcile it as a feminist pro-woman paradise, which it is unfortunately not. It's just a book containing some harsh legal codes for everyone, including the Brahmins, as we'll see ahead, and it does view the roles, responsibilities, and functions of women differently than men. Take verse 9.3 for example. How English translations approach it is the father guards the girl during virginity, the husband in her youth, and the son in her old age. She should not seek independence. But as per Medhatiti's commentary and clarification, the Sanskrit here is swatantriyam, which doesn't mean freedom, autonomy, or independence in the modern sense of the word, but rather a state of vulnerability, unprotectedness, or abandonment. So in its actual spirit, the verse actually means that the men of the house have the obligation to protect the woman, because the author scripted this during a time of political instability and invasions. The real issues actually lie with verses 9.14 to 9.18, which state that when women are not guarded by their husbands, they injure them and they're assigned to sleep, sit, lust, be angry, dishonest, or do bad conduct, and there is no dealing of them with sacred texts. Yup, that's definitely problematic. But before you get triggered, read the verse 9.13 just before it, which clearly states and clarifies that these are the qualities of evil and corrupted women who drink and associated with wicked people. And as such, the comments are not generalizations, but even then they are pretty harsh, and we have to accept where it's wrong. Also, yes, the Manusmriti factually does exclude women, as it does other Varnas, which we'll study ahead, from the formal Shastric initiation into the Vedas. So while they can't formally study the Vedic knowledge, they are free to gain that information, learn about it, and be eligible for spiritual liberation or moksha. But in the Vedic times, this was not the case, and even today we have evolved far as a society from this view, so it's no longer applicable. In another case, when verse 2.213 states that it is in the nature of women to corrupt men, our scholars have already clarified that these are not generalized comments about women, but rather targeted at young brahmachari boys who are supposed to take brahmacharya, which means a life of celibacy. So these are scare tactics used at them, and talking about the nature of the men who lead astray from their brahmachari path due to lust, anger, and greed and desire. And this isn't a Hindu trait or tactic. The Buddhist epic Saudarananda by Ashwaghosha dedicates an entire chapter to criticizing women as a psychological tool to scare the monks from staying away from them. Manusmriti is definitely a bit discriminatory and harsh on women, but many of its verses are arthvada or exaggerations, rules of thumbs or psychological tactics and textual tactics, not exact commandment. It was always aimed at those taking up the intense tapas and responsibilities of moving through the 4 stages of life from brahmacharya to sannyasa. So let's view it from that lens. Keep following me as we decode Varna in the next chapter.